Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. We are going to start dubbing this channel Fly with Blake. I am Blake Whitehouse and I'll be your pilot today for this flight sim experience. Please note that I am not a real pilot. I am simply just a flight sim gaming enthusiast. So some of what you're going to see today in this airplane is not factual nor real. But hopefully you enjoy it anyways. So, let's go ahead and get started. So today we're flying the Boeing 737-800. This is an aircraft provided by X-Plane 11. Sorry, we're in X-Plane 11 today. And this will be the Southwest Airlines skin that we're doing here. This aircraft is provided by Lambert Research, one of the primary companies that supplies planes for X-Plane 11 simulators. So this plane is actually really fun to fly. This is bigger than the last plane I did. For those of you that watched my last video, I was flying a I always get the name wrong, Embraer ERJ-145XR. So this is a little bit bigger plane. This is typically what you'd see at most of your major airports, other than the Airbus series. You'll see a lot of Airbus A320s, maybe even a few 319s, and maybe a few, I think it's a 330, Airbus A330. But anyways, really detailed aircraft. I love this aircraft. It's super fun to fly. And fairly realistic, but easy enough for even the most basic flight sim enthusiast to jump into and easily go from point A to point B. So we are here in Kansas City, Missouri, at Kansas City International Airport. We will be flying from here, going to Lambert International Airport in St. Louis, Missouri. So let's go ahead and jump back here into the cockpit. We are starting from a cold start, meaning the aircraft is dark, nothing is on. And we're going to go ahead and engage power using our battery. I'll turn off our standby power. And we are going to go ahead and turn our fuel pumps on and get our bleeds and our buses over to on, so that we can go ahead and let's go ahead and turn the seatbelt signs on. So we can go ahead and get the APU running. The APU is going to be down here. We're going to give that just a minute to warm up. It takes a second. This aircraft's not as quick to start. Turning all of our location anti-collision lights on. Let's go ahead and engage electricals. And turn on our probe heats there. And there we go. APU is firing up, gaining power there. Alright, here in just a minute, all these computers are going to start coming to life. And we will be good to get started. Alright. Oop. I want that over there. Okay. So it's starting to get a little dark out, so we're going to kind of kick on some of these lights here. As we get closer to Lambert, we should... Oop, that's not ready. I don't know why that's not ready. We should still have a little bit of daylight left. It is currently 7:50 p.m. here in Kansas City. The flight from Kansas City to St. Louis, we're going to be doing roughly 300 knots. It'll be a little bit longer than my last flight. Last flight was about 27 minutes long. This flight will probably be closer to about a 45-minute to an hour flight, somewhere in that ballpark. Alright, and we're ready. Turn that on, and all of our computers come alive. Now, a lot of pilots leave this stuff on since it's a flight simulator, I don't really need a whole lot of this stuff. We're going to go ahead and set up the FMS here. Now, real pilots actually set up waypoints along their flight routes. Like I said, I am not a real pilot, so I do not 100% understand how to do that. I'm still in the learning process myself. So, simply putting it that way, we are just going to do a straight direct flight from Kansas City to St. Louis. So, we're going to input our starting airport, which is KMCI, that's Kansas City International. And we are going to St. Louis, which is KSTL. Every airport across the world has some sort of destination identifying code that they use for these FMS systems. The majority of airports in the United States use a K code in front of the primary three letter identifiers. I think there's a few exclusions, but for most part, most of the major airports use that. If you go to somewhere like in the Caribbean or Mexico or wherever else in the world, the codes are different. You can always find those on Google. So if you ever get into this flight simulator and you don't know what the airport code is, not only can the flight simulator itself tell you if you look it up, but just to make it easier, you can Google the airport you want to fly to and look up its airport code, and it will tell you what the airport code is. So we are also flying a Southwest Airlines, so that's SWA. Always use the flight number 12. I don't know why, I guess it's just my lucky number. And nope, we're going to do a direct flight, so KSTL one more time. It's been a while since I've flown this aircraft, so bear with me here, guys. So via direct, so we are good for direct flight to Kansas City International, or excuse me, to Lambert International. So something else that you would do with this FMS, you got your departures and arrivals, your climb rates and cruise altitudes and cruise speeds. You know, you can input all that stuff in. Like I said, I'm still learning, so I'm not 100%, sure on all that. But if you're like me and you're just wanting to kind of get into a flight simulator and do a bare basic flight like what I'm doing, you can do this direct flight, and that's pretty much all you need. And we're just going to go ahead and close that guy out there. We're going to increase our radar range. So there's, if you can see it on the screen, we'll zoom in here a little bit. Alright, there's St. Louis, all the way over there. And we currently have that set to, I believe, 200 miles or so. Or maybe that's 180. So we're just going to kick that back over to 160, because by the time we take off and we turn out of here, we'll be heading that direction. Let's go ahead and turn our panel lights on, because like I said, we should be landing with some sunlight left. But just in case, I don't want to be tinkering with that if we start losing daylight. So, APU is running, everything's good. And alright. So we're going to pull up our ATC window here, that's air traffic control, and we're going to go ahead and schedule our flight plan. Now, some of these aircraft, it automatically puts the correct aircraft identification tailwing number in. As you can see here, this is not the right tailwing number, so we are going to input the right one. So it's November 8-5. Sorry guys, I'm working in the dark here in my office here. So I'm having a hard time seeing, and I don't have an illuminated keyboard. 29er Zulu. So if there's any sponsors out there that would love to get me one of those illuminated keyboards, I would more than happily take one and sponsor, you have a sponsor me, and I'll throw your name out here. Just, just for shits and giggles, Anyways, apologize for the language. Sorry. Alright. try to keep it kid-friendly on here. Alright, and let's get back into the game here. Sorry guys, I'm a little tired. I haven't had enough caffeine. We are... Oop, no. This is... Make. So this is a Boeing 737. And we're going to look for the 800. 737-800. And we are flying a Southwest Airlines. Flight number, my lucky number 12. There's actually a backstory to that 12. My wife's favorite number is 13, so I always go 12 just to, you know, get dirty looks from her. It's always fun. Alright, so we are going to KSTL, St. Louis Lambert International Airport, and we're going to try to cruise at about 25,000 feet. Now, typically on this flight, I'll usually do 30,000, but 25,000 is pretty good. Earlier today, I was doing a flight on here, and the wind was a little choppy, so we'll see how this goes. And we're going to request altimeter from the tower.
Kansas City International, altimeter 3002.
Alright, so 3002, you saw that change down here.
Kansas City
Read back to the tower.
002, Southwest 12.
We're going to go ahead and turn on our autopilot flight director. That does not mean that the autopilot is currently on. It just means that it is prepped and ready. We're going to get our altitude up to 25,000 feet. We're going to switch to VS, or vertical speed. And we're going to go up to about 3,000 feet per minute. And I've already switched over to RTO. That basically, if we're going down the runway and we have a failure, we have a tire blowout, something along those lines, shut down the engines, full reverse, and this will automatically engage the wheel brakes, so we don't even have to apply pressure to the brakes. It's kind of a little safety emergency. Once we get up in the air, we'll flip that over to either 1 or 2. That will engage auto brakes for when we touch down in St. Louis. And that'll help get this big beast slowed down a little bit quicker.
Southwest 12, cleared IFR to St. Louis Lambert International.
Alright.
Flight level 250, squawk 4700.
Alright, so just like my last flight, we're going to squawk at 4700. We're going to actually turn that on. So now we are squawking, and we are cleared for 25,000 feet.
Cleared IFR to St. Louis Lambert International. As filed, maintain flight level 250, squawk 4700, Southwest 12.
Alright. We're going to go ahead and turn those guys on. It is warm enough in Missouri, and I don't think we're going to be flying high enough to really need anti-ice, so we're not even going to play with the anti-ice today. It is currently 104 degrees here in Missouri today. Well, in my neck of the woods. I live in Joplin, Missouri. We're in Kansas City. Kansas City's actually a little cooler right now, per what I was told by some family that live up there, because they are currently experiencing storms. Now, I have real world weather turned on, but as you can see, I can see a little bit of cloud cover out there outside these windows. But I'm not seeing a whole lot of storms. Like, even the flight simulator said there were storms, so the storms must be a little further to the south. We'll find out a little bit more once we get in the air. So we're going to go ahead and request taxi.
West 12, runway 1 left. Taxi via Delta, hold short of runway 1 left.
Alright, so we're going to take off out of 1 left, going down taxiway D Delta.
Runway
Read
1
that
left,
back.
taxi via Delta, hold short of runway 1 left, Southwest 12.
Heading is already set for 1 left. We're going to go ahead and turn that on, so when we turn the autopilot on, we don't veer off course or make any unnecessary turns. We're going to go ahead and set our takeoff speed to 230 knots. Now, real pilots will actually set up what they call toga. They'll increase the power on this aircraft to about 40%, let it hold, let the engine stabilize, and then they'll kick on the toga being takeoff ground speed. There is a way to set that on this aircraft. However, again, y'all are going to hear me sound like a broken record. I'm not a professional pilot, so therefore I don't know exactly 100% how to do all that. But one person I always mention in my videos, he's a fantastic guy. I kind of view myself like his secret little buddy. He's talked to me a few times, but he probably don't remember that he's ever talked to me online. But that's Jeff Faviano, guys. Jeff Faviano, if you haven't heard of him, haven't seen any of his videos, please subscribe to his page and watch some of his flight sims. Man's got an amazing setup. He does a camera facing him so you can see his entire flight setup. I mean, the guy's pretty much got a flight simulator in his office. It's really, really cool. Subscribe to his page, watch some of his videos. A lot of what I've learned about flight sims, I learned from him. I've learned from other places on avionics and aviation. But he's a really good YouTuber to watch. He is a real pilot. Has his private pilot's license. Great guy. Please subscribe to his page and follow him. Also, if you like this video today, or if you like some of my past videos, please like and subscribe. The more viewers I got, the better. Hey, I do this for free. I don't make any money off of this, at least not yet. Maybe one day. Who knows? But, I do this for fun, to just kind of be a little bit informative to you guys, and kind of, those of you that have never thought about getting into a flight simulator, or some of you, that do fly flight simulators can kind of experience what X-Plane 11 is all about. And X-Plane 12, I've heard, is supposed to be coming out very soon. It's supposed to be the end of this month, I believe, is when they're doing the beta test on it. So that's some good news. I heard some excellent reviews about it already from different gaming reporting magazines and things like that. It's supposed to be a lot of cool upgrades, really enhances the realism of it, and is definitely supposed to be on par with some of the other flight simulators out there. Sorry guys, had to get a drink there. Alright, so we should have everything set and ready to go. We're squawking. All the APU stuff is on. Fuel pumps are on. So we are going to go ahead and request a pushback. One left should be over here off to our left side here. So, and if you ever wonder, like if you're ever playing this flight simulator and you want to know exactly where one left is, any of you that have ever used a directional wheel, one left is right here. Okay, this little hash mark right here. So one left would be, we start off right here and go down this runway here, and we can even zoom in on that even closer on this map to kind of see our relative location at the airport and where we're going to go. And we're just going to taxi right down this little taxiway here, get on the runway, and we're going to take on out. So, go ahead and close that guy out. We're going to open up our ground handling menu, release the brakes, and we are going to request a right turn pushback that will get us facing towards the direction we need to go.
Okay, push cart on the way.
Alright, so they've approved the push cart. The push cart should be on the way. You guys obviously don't see one in front of here. If you watched my last video, the push cart came through the wall. It's probably going to do that again. These simulators are not 100% perfect, guys, but they're a lot of fun, and they get as close as possible to the real thing. So, we're going to wait on him before we try to start up the engines, because on this aircraft with the brakes released, the engines are powerful enough, it will kind of push us forward, and you don't want to do that to the push cart, because they're trying to hook up to that front wheel in the front there on the nose. So we're just going to kind of hang out here and stand by and wait for him. Now, prior to this video, I had done another flight in this same aircraft and done the flight checks. Yeah, see, he went right through the wall. Traditionally, pilots will turn all this stuff over and check the flight controls, look out the window, make sure that the ailerons and everything are working, the rudder's working, or have a ground guy telling them. But we know it's working. Alright, so we're pushing back. We're going to go ahead and spool up engine 2. And we are looking for N2 rotation here. That number is going to continue going up. We want to get up around 20 to 25 before we engage the fuel. So we're just going to steadily watch that rise here. Try to get a... There we go. We're at 21, 23, 24. Okay, we're close enough. And let's start up engine 2. Alright, so that's going to get that engine fired up. And engine's coming alive. Good startup. We didn't over rev or anything. That's why you wait for that N2 rotation to come up a little bit, so you don't... if it's too low and you kick on the fuel, it gets too much fuel and it'll really raise that gauge up, and you could cause damage to the engine. So we're going to go ahead and turn on taxi light and low. Yeah, it's starting to get a little dark. We may actually be flying into St. Louis in the dark here, guys. Something else that I am going to start doing. So all my videos are done through GeForce Experience in-game.
The fuel bill, right?
Yeah, I pay the fuel bill. Anyways, so if you have a GeForce graphics card in your computer, most games it'll let you do an in-game video. That's how I do all my videos. So shout out to GeForce. Love your products. And thank you for making the in-game video recording possible. Now, guys, I do not get paid by any of these companies for this. I simply give shout-outs where, you know, credit is due, and GeForce does a phenomenal job with their video recording. I've heard they had problems with it in the past, but I've never had any problems so far. I just can't seem to upload it to Facebook. But I can upload it to YouTube. I don't understand why. Alright, so let's go ahead and get engine 1 going here. So spooling up, same thing. We are going to be looking for 20 to 25 N2 rotation. And just screen so we can see both the fuel level here, or lever, excuse me, not level. Sorry guys, I'm a redneck. I'm going to fumble over my words. I'm from Southwest Missouri. Alright, so engine 1 is coming alive. Notice how this needle does not shoot up. Now, if I would have started this with a lower N2 rotation, that thing would have shot up like a, you know, a bottle rocket, and could have caused the engine to over rev and would have caused damage to the engine. And usually when that happens, you know, that could, in the simulator, it could possibly cause a engine fire or the engine completely just breaking down on us. So we don't want to do that. We're going to adjust flaps to 5. That's going to be 3 clicks with the flaps. Alright. So we got flaps 1, 2, and 5. We want to give 3 clicks, so we're on flaps 5. There we go. Flaps are set. We have all of our autopilot and navigation set with FMS. And kick on our generators here, so we should not need the APU anymore. We should be running strictly off of engine power. And we're going to turn the yaw damper on. Like I said, we're not going to play with the anti-ice or anything like that. Let's go ahead and kick these breakers on a little bit higher, because they're all the way up. Because I got a feeling it's going to be dark by the time we get to St. Louis, or at least pretty close to it. And what I'm doing here is what most pilots do, but usually they got a co-pilot kind of helping them out. Just double checking, making sure everything's good to go. You know, we don't want to get out on that tarmac and realize, oh crap, you know, we forgot to do something. Now, unlike the last plane that I flew, this aircraft does not have a... you can't hear the flight attendants in the back giving the safety brief to the passengers. Kind of a letdown, but other than that, a great plane to fly. I love the reflections on this aircraft. I love how it flies, how it handles. Very realistic. All the control skins on it, so your flaps and the rudder and everything. Very realistic. I love this aircraft. Boeing makes great aircraft. And Lambert Research does a phenomenal job as well. And just like my last video, we have the taxi guidance here on. You know, I've flown in and out of this airport enough times. I know exactly where they wanted me to go. And I can see the signs down the ground. You can see there off to the left, that sign says D for Delta. They told us to go out Delta to 1 left. So that's exactly where we're going. Here's Crossway Bravo. We're just going to cross right across this. We're going to stay on Delta. And we're going to hold short here and get permission to taxi on out to the runway and hopefully take off. And brakes. A little bit of hard braking with this aircraft.
Contact tower on 128.20.
And we're going to contact tower.
128.20. Southwest 12.
Kick all of our takeoff lights on.
Tower Southwest 12.
Southwest 12. Fly heading 010. Runway 1 left. You're cleared for takeoff.
Fly heading 010. Runway 1 left. Southwest 12.
And if you guys saw down there on the left, I turned the chronometer on. That is to let us know how long we've been in an operation. You don't actually have to do that if you're a beginner flight simmer. You know, it doesn't matter. It's just to enhance the experience. Alright, we're going to get out here and line up as straight as we can. I love how smooth this aircraft is, guys. Oh, super nice. Alright, we're going to increase throttle to about 40%. Let those engines spool up and stabilize. And there they are stabilized. And we're going to go ahead and engage speed for takeoff. Now our N1, or excuse me, our V1 and V2 on this aircraft is going to be right about probably about 140 knots here. I got enough fuel in this thing. It's a little on the heavier side. There's about 140. We're going to start to rotate. And we're up. Just that simple, guys. Nice and smooth. I love this aircraft. Ooh, a little windy here in Kansas City. And we're going to go ahead and turn the autopilot on.
Center on 132.325.
Contact center on 132.325. Southwest 12.
That sound you're hearing right there, that is a kind of like a mitigation warning, letting us know there's another aircraft kind of pretty close to our flight path. Real life, that should not happen, but it does happen from time to time, guys. You know, towers make mistakes too.
Center Southwest 12.
Southwest 12. Fly heading
We're going to go down to flaps 2. You can see our engines down here are a little in the red. That's not exactly good. That's another reason why you use toga.
Southwest 12. Resume on navigation.
Resume navigation.
Navigation Southwest 12.
There we go. Now we're back in the clear there. Woo! Hit a little pocket of turbulence there. I don't know if you saw that. the speed like really started to drop there. That was just a little pocket of turbulence. And starting to hit a little cloud layer here. Yeah, you can see how foggy looking it is. That's just a real light cloud we're going through. And it looks like some heavier clouds up here. So yeah, it's possible. Kansas City's getting some decent storms going on right now. We'll lose sight of that ground here in just a minute. Alright, let's go ahead and kick this over to brakes 2. That'll be ready to go for when we are ready to land. And we're going to wait till we get about 10,000 feet before I go ahead and shut these lights off. I'm just glad we didn't fly out with any rain. That was actually kind of nice. Corey.
Southwest, 12,
Oop.
fly heading 100.
Fly heading 100. We're going to turn right 100.
Southwest,
A little more.
resume on navigation.
Oop. A little too much. There we go.
Resume on
And resuming on navigation.
1, 2.
Alright, so there you have it, guys. We are up in the air. Oh, goodness, we're back in the red again. Alright, we're going to go down to flaps 1. There we go. And we're just going to go ahead and kick flaps fully retracted. And we're going to increase speed to 250 knots. We are up above 10,000 feet, so we're going to go ahead and kill these lights. We should not need these anymore. Oop. One too many clicks. Alright. And something I should have done is cabin utilities. That will turn on all their reading lights and their air conditioning. Probably have some very unhappy passengers back there right now. Ooh, nice little dark cloud that we're about to fly through here. Something I've never mentioned in my videos here, guys. So, you know, there is private pilots out there that have what is called an IFR, that is Instrument Flight Rating. That is a special deal that's on their license so that they can fly through clouds, fly at night, things like that. Otherwise, if you had nothing but a VFR, or visual flight rating, you would actually have to fly in very clear weather, only at daylight hours, you know, things like that. So commercial pilots, they have a lot of schooling that goes into flying one of these big beasts. So there's a lot to it, and it's very expensive. Private pilot around our neck of the woods alone will cost you upwards of about $10,000 to $12,000, and that includes your IFR. But you're only flying small aircraft. You're maybe a single prop, maybe even a twin prop. But recreational pilots, which is the stage below, those are for guys that fly bush planes, you know, predominantly, you know, tail draggers like a J3 Piper Cub or, you know, something along those lines. Something a little smaller that, you know, you really ain't going to have passengers with you. And that spooling sound you hear, that's this guy right here. That's our trim wheel. That's helping to make sure that the tail wing and the ailerons and everything like that are, you know, the plane's trimmed out so we don't, you know, go all out of whack here. You'll hear that thing adjusting quite a bit. That's another thing I love here, the reflections. We got the reflection of the sun coming in through these back two windows here, hitting the windshield up front, and that's where you get this orange glow going on here. I love how detailed some of these flight simulators are, and this isn't even as good as it could get. Like I could buy a much better computer and have much better graphics. And honestly, that's why I tell you guys, you know, again, I sound like a broken record, but go watch Jeff Faviano's videos. He's got an amazing setup. I mean, that guy's running a computer that would just wipe the dust, you know, with mine. So, he's got a nifty. I'm jealous of his setup, if you can't tell. I love his setup. Alright, so we are currently at 23.5, coming up on 24, and we are looking for that 25,000 mark. Now, the autopilot, if it's working correctly, you heard that buzzer, that's letting us know we're coming up on 25,000 feet. As we get closer to 25,000, we'll start to level off. And we are nice and high up in here in the air. Like I said, usually from Kansas City to St. Louis, I'll do about 30,000 feet, but for this flight, we'll do 25. Get an outside view of the aircraft here. Now I had this problem with my last flight too. My plane's kind of kicking over to the left a little bit, so I'm actually starting to second guess if it's the simulator or if maybe it's my flight controls. So hey, maybe instead of a keyboard, somebody will sponsor me and get me a new flight controller, give me a new yoke, or you know, something along those lines. Get me something that, you know, a little more accurate here. Alright. Oop, a little high there. I don't know why we jumped over 25,000. There we go. Plane autopilot is correcting for it. We're even over that 300 knot mark. Come on, bring her on down. Come on down. There you go. Nice and easy. It's coming down. A little bit of turbulence there. I do not know why we are kicking off to the left there. Good golly, come on. And on this aircraft, I'm not sure if there's a way to adjust that. I don't know if there's a way to... Yeah. Oh well. It is what it is. There we go. We're kind of leveled off there now, just a smidge. That's alright. And it could have something to do with the wind direction. I mean, we did kind of see as we took off, you know, a little bit of it pushing us there. We do have a west to east direction wind. You can see that right here. So right now it's at our tail. We got a ground speed 476 miles per hour across the ground, doing 300 knots. And we got 49, well, I don't know why that's counting up. That should actually be counting down. Unless I goofed in setting something up. Did I goof? KMCI, KSTU. No? I didn't goof anything up. Who knows? Oh well. That should be counting down. I don't know why that's counting up. And who knows? It could be something with the flight simulator. They may need to be doing some updates soon. Fixing some stuff. Of course, I don't know if they're going to be doing many updates. Like I said, they're coming out with X-Plane 12 soon, so they may just be like, forget it. Everybody's going to be going to that. Got a beautiful sky out there. A few little clouds off in the distance. Not too bad. We got those storms there off to the south of us there. I can see them now. Oh no, not too bad. But yeah, I think we're going to be flying into St. Louis. It's probably going to be hitting about dark. We're still about, give or take 120 nautical miles out if I had to take a guess down here at the radar. Alright, our flight director. Oh. I didn't overload us with fuel this time, though, so we're going to have more than enough fuel to get there. We probably could have burned off a few, a little bit more before takeoff, but by the time we get there, we should have a nice, easy descent into Lambert International Airport. So for any of you that have seen my videos, I'm sure you've seen hashtag broker. For those of you that don't know, I am a part of a Masonic Writing Association, and my road name with that association is Broker. So it's just kind of a nickname that I go by. Everybody knows me by it. So you can call me Blake, you can call me Broker. The only thing I ask is, hey, if you got any negative comments, please don't be negative in my videos. These are just for fun. Like them, don't like them, but don't be mean. Not that I can't take it, but there's just no need for it. And kids watch these videos. I got young family members that'll probably be watching them soon, so keep it clean, keep it family friendly. All right, we're gonna kind of turn the backlight on this a little bit more. Got a weird dark shadow going on here. Boop. Can turn the dome light on. Traditionally, pilots wouldn't fly with it unless they needed it, but and we're actually going to increase in speed a little bit just to get there just a little bit quicker, because this is usually the boring part that everybody doesn't like. It's like, oh wow, yay, he's flying. Let's see if we can't kick this up to, let's go 330 knots. I guess they're just a little bit quicker. Come on, get that nose down. I don't know why that's doing that. I don't have any flaps on. I don't know why. Oh.
Southwest 1, 2, Marshall MEM unit, altimeter 3, 0, 0, 0.
Marshall MEM Muni, altimeter 3000, Southwest 1, 2.
Alright. And who knows, like I said, they may need to do an update soon. They may have some things glitching out here. Yeah, it's starting to get a little dark out there. Let's get an outside view of the aircraft here. So here we are. We are flying along. All the little people down there. Still got that plane tilted. I don't know why, but that's something else they never fixed either. The entrails on this aircraft. Jeff Fabiano mentioned that once in one of his flight sims about they need to fix that. It's a little too dark. They need to lighten up on that a little bit. Jet fuel don't burn that dark. Almost like it burning diesel fuel. Without death. Alright, so we're sitting right about that 25,000 feet mark. Doing 330 knots. We are 15 minutes into this flight. May end up being a shorter flight than I thought, kicking that speed up. And we're still a little ways out. We're about, I'd say 95 nautical miles out from St. Louis. So, and if I were a real pilot by now, I would have already kicked the new seatbelt sign, or excuse me, the fasten seatbelt sign. Would have turned it off by now, but yeah, we're having fun. Or at least I hope you're having fun. One of these days I'll have to do a live streaming of this and let everybody kind of jump in, and that way I can talk and answer your questions as we do this. Oh yeah, it's getting dark quick. We're losing that sunlight. Well, it's about that time too. Here in Missouri, it's currently 8:31. That sun is definitely going down about this time.
Southwest, 1, 2, descend and maintain, 1, 2,000, Omar and Bradley, altimeter, 3, 0, 0, 0.
Alright.
Descend and maintain. 1-2,000 Omar and Bradley. Altimeter 3000. Southwest 12.
Alright, guys, so they're wanting us to drop to 12,000 feet, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to drop about 3,000 feet per minute, and we're just going to kind of kick back on that speed a little bit there. So this plane goes a little bit faster than the last one I did. Definitely has bigger engines on it. So the Boeing pretty well scoots across the sky.
Southwest, 1, 2, fly heading, 1, 1, 0.
And turn right to 110.
Fly heading 110. Southwest 12.
Now, the fun thing is last time I knew, Lambert does not have a runway for the direction we're going, so I hope the wind direction closer to the ground in St. Louis is a little bit more head-on with whatever runway they're going to tell us to land at. Otherwise, we're going to have a decent little crosswind. So that's going to be a...
1, 2, resume on navigation.
Resume on navigation.
Resume on navigation. Southwest 12.
So it might be a... Oh, excuse me. Might be an interesting little landing. And we are currently 18 minutes into this flight. I may have shot you guys accurate. I said about 30 to 45 minutes. Now, most planes, honestly, would not be going quite this fast while en route, just to save fuel consumption and cost. Oh, yeah, we're starting to get that night sky there. That sun's going down quick. We're going to be landing probably in darkness. But pilots usually will kick down the speed a little bit to save on fuel cost and the company money. So it would probably take a little bit longer to get to St. Louis. We'd probably be looking at about an hour and a half flight on average to get to St. Louis, I think. You know, best educated guess. But in all honesty, guys, it don't take that long to get from one side of Missouri to the other. You can even drive that in about 6 to 8 hours, easy. You know, permitting decent road condition. Alright, so we're probably about 70 nautical miles out from St. Louis. Let's go ahead and kick this down a bit. Now, if you guys notice, you can see this little line of lights, and as we get a little further on, more lights pop up. That's simply my settings in the flight simulator, just to make it a little bit smoother, so we don't have as much glitchiness. The frame rate doesn't quite catch up to what's out here. Yeah, see, you just saw that pop up. I could easily change that, but honestly, before I do that, I'm looking at buying a new computer that will have faster run speeds and a better graphics card that can... I mean, mine could probably keep up with it, but it'd still be a little glitchy. So, until I get a new computer, it just kind of is what it is. It's not real important, but, you know, if you decide to get into this flight sim, understand... You're probably going to need nothing less than a 1080 Ti graphics card or above. Quite frankly, I honestly recommend going as high as you can. You know, probably somewhere around the 3070, 3080 mark, if you can. Just to ensure you have, you know, a really good experience with a flight sim. And it would be good for other games too if you're, you know, into other games. Oh. Yeah, like this right here in real life would be as bright as that. This is kind of the, if I had to guess, almost the onset, the outskirts of St. Louis. Or at least pretty close to.
Southwest, 1, 2, descend and maintain 8,000.
Alright, we're going to drop to 8,000 feet now.
Southwest, 1, 2, Washington MEF, altimeter 2990.
Drop this down to 3,000.
Washington MEM, altimeter 2990, southwest, 1, 2.
2990. Alright. And since we're going to be dropping down to the 3,000, or excuse me, the 8,000 mark, excuse me, let me get my numbers right here. We're going to drop to about that 250 nautical knots mark. Sorry guys, I'm a little tired. Bear with me. You can make fun of me in the comments. It's okay. If the comments are turned off, I didn't do it intentionally. Some of you just rolled your eyes like, sure. No, I really didn't. As old as I am, guys, I never really did a whole lot of the YouTube stuff. I've always watched videos on YouTube. I've never really been a part of a YouTube channel, so I'm still learning. You know, old dogs can learn new tricks. Yep, and this is just kind of the outskirt, the very outer edge of St. Louis, guys. Like, we're close. We are close. Got a little airport down there. Sorry if I freaked you out by zooming in like that. You got a little airport over there. Another one. You'd be surprised how many airports are out there that, you know, most people don't think about. You know, when they fly, or that pilots have to avoid because they can't fly over certain airspaces. On the aviation map, you know, a lot of times that's why they do the waypoints, and sometimes you can get away with what we're doing.
Fly heading 1, 2, 0. Vectors for the visual. Runway 29. Descend and maintain 6,000.
Sometimes you can get away with it, you know, a direct flight like what we're doing. Since a flight simulator, it's not going to tell me no. But a lot of times those pilots really have to pay attention to those airports and making sure they stay above them if they're going to fly over them. You know, That way they don't get in the way of other aircraft or, collide with another aircraft that's trying to come in for landing. All the pretty lights. You can zoom in down there and see all the little cars on the highway. A few semi-trucks. Every once in a while you catch a police car down there. I don't see any down there right now. Which is shocking for St. Louis. Usually they're working overtime. I know one of these days Jeff Fabiano is going to get on here and see one of my videos and think I copycatted him calling it Fly with Blake. I think he had a channel at one time, or maybe his channel is still called like Fly with Jeff or Fly with Jeff Fabiano. Hopefully he don't care. If he does, I apologize, Jeff, if you're watching. You just have to get in your plane, fly out to Joplin, kick my rear end, and then we'll go for a ride. Take me flying. For real. I'll pay for the fuel. Alright guys, so off over here, that is Lambert International Airport. We're coming around kind of the backside there. They're probably going to bring us in runway 29 or possibly... Well, there's another runway. I can't remember which one it is. Usually they tell me to come in 29. The only thing that sucks about 29 is it's kind of off a ways from the terminals, so the taxiing back to the terminal is kind of a little bit of a hike. You do more taxiing than you do anything. But we'll see what they have us do.
Fly heading 120. Vectors for the visual. Runway 29. Descend and maintain 6,000. Southwest 12.
Alright. Really pretty lights. That's something else that, so, unless you buy an upgrade pack for the ground, scenery, the one thing you can't find in St. Louis is the arch. Which kind of sucks, They say they're changing that with X-Plane 12, that they're going to have, the scenery kind of built in, kind of the way Microsoft did their newest flight simulator. And I'm sure that's why 12 is coming out, is to, compete with them a little bit on that. I love both flight simulators, so I'm not dogging on any of them. Both have their ups and their downs. Alright, so I don't know if you guys can see it. So here's the terminal at St. Louis. Here, all the way down there, is runway 29. So when you get to the end of that runway, you got to come all the way back and taxi and park over here. It's kind of a pain in the butt. It's easier to land on one of these other two runways here. Oh, they do have a cross runway. I forgot about that one. But you'd land here, and it's not quite a hike back to the gate. Now, the upside is to Kansas City and into St. Louis, I have AutoGate turned on, which will come standard with X-Plane 12, according to what they've been saying. Which means when you pull up to the gate, you got a little guy that directs you.
Fly heading 120. Descend and maintain 3,000.
Sorry, guys. Listening to the air traffic controller here. Dropping to 3,000.
Descend and maintain. 3000. Southwest. 12.
Alright, we're going to drop speed to about 210 knots because we're going to be making final here before too long. And I don't know which runway they're going to bring us in on. Probably 29 though. I'd be willing to bet money on that. Alright. As we level off here, we'll drop off some of that speed. ATC would be furious with us monitoring our speeds right now, but it's a simulator. We can get away with it. And we're going to go ahead and, for visualization purposes, kick on our landing and taxi lights. Should have done that actually a long time ago.
Southwest, 12, fly heading, 030.
Very much good.
Into 030.
Fly heading 030. Southwest. 12.
Southwest, 12, St. Louis downtown, altimeter 2989.
2989.
St. Louis downtown. Altimeter 2989. Southwest. 12.
No, Churchill.
And we're coming up on 30 minutes, so it's pretty close. We're gonna go ahead and adjust flaps to 1. And flaps to 2.
Southwest, 12, fly heading 330.
Fly heading 330. Yep, we're probably going to come in on 29.
330. Southwest. 12.
Churchill.
And we're going to go ahead and drop speed to 170 knots. And flaps to 5.
Watch a movie.
And flaps one more time to 10.
Southwest, 12, fly heading 300. Report the field in sight.
Fly heading 300. Report the field in sight. Southwest. 12.
Alright, we're going 300. I didn't hear him call out a runway. They probably did while I was talking to you guys.
center. Southwest 12.
Southwest 12. Clear visual.
There we go, 29.
9. Contact tower off. 118.50.
Alright.
Cleared visual approach.
Whoa.
Runway 29. Contact tower off. 118.50. Southwest 12.
Gear down.
Tower Southwest 12.
Up a little too high. Keep letting it descend. Got one red light. Boy, we got a nasty crosswind. And there's 2 red lights. So we're gonna just stay on this glide slope. Turn our engines back up a little bit.
12. Runway 29. You're clear to land.
Runway 29. Southwest 12.
Right over the highway. Coming in a little shallow. Get back in line with the runway here. And wheels down. And reversers to full.
Southwest 12. Taxi line 29. Alpha 4. Bravo. Sierra. Charlie.
Gate taxi fire 29 Alpha 4 Bravo Sierra Charlie Southwest 12.
No.
Southwest 12. Contact ground on 121.90.
Contact ground on 121.90 Southwest 12.
So not too shabby of a landing. A little rough, but not too bad. I've had worse. Didn't quite get the wheels down where I wanted them to. Came close, but I flared just a little too much, but that's alright. And now we got this long hike back to the terminal. Oh, come on. Ground speed's 18. And we still got our landing lights on. Excuse me. But once we get closer to the terminal, we'll kick those off. But there's not a whole lot of lights out here, so I don't want to kick them off yet because we wouldn't be able to see the runway. Or the taxiway, excuse me. Brake a little bit. Going a little too fast down this. Kind of going down a hill here. So the only upside to runway 29 is it's kind of uphill. So you slow down a little faster. And if it pulls us into a gate that has auto gate, as soon as we set the parking brakes, the gateway will come down to the aircraft. And if you look down at the chronometer, we are currently at 39 minutes, so I wasn't too far off. I said about 45-minute flight. Only off by about 5-10 minutes. So we actually arrived a little bit earlier than I thought we would. It's currently 8:57 in St. Louis. And they've got this runway shut down, so we don't have to hold short for it. We're just going to go right on across. And something else we're going to do. Go ahead and kick that APU back on. There we go. So when we stop and we shut the engines down, we're still running off of some sort of engine power and not the batteries. Oop. There we go. Kick those lights off. Kick our dome light on here. Make sure. Oop. Missed two. There we go. Still a little hard to see, but busy airport. I do currently have real world traffic turned off, so there are no other airplanes taxiing or taking off at this time. They're all parked at the gates, but looks like we might get an auto gate. So you get to see the gateway come down to the plane.
Oh, do you have Daddy's wallet? No, thank you.
We might get an auto gate. This may not take us to an auto gate. Maybe there's a few of them down there. Well, that guy's not supposed to be on this side of the runway. Guess you're going underneath my wing. Hope you made it through. That was not supposed to happen. Well, looks like the gate we're going to may not be an auto gate. Kind of a bummer.
Daddy's hat. It needs washed.
Alright,
Look at that.
there we go. Yep, this one's not an auto gate.
No, climb down and go give it to Daddy. Don't throw it.
Alright, let's see how close we got here. Ooh, not even close enough. Like I said, been a while since I've flown this. A little hard to judge how far forward I need to go. They got me and this plane really close together. Hope you don't have to back out anytime soon. Right there. Alright. And we're gonna go back inside. Shut the engines down. Go ahead and turn our taxi lights off, and we're going to go back over to APU power. Now, just like all my other flights, we're going to do a replay
Be careful.
of our landing. And we're going to do it from the tower. So there we are. Let's see if we can speed this up a little bit. We're a little far out there. We're going to go right past the tower all the way to runway 29. We go right past. Had a nice smooth descent.
Are you about ready so I can end and go to sleep? Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we kind of had a little bit of a bounce there, but not too bad. Alright guys, so that was flight from Kansas City, Missouri to Lambert International in St. Louis. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to check out Jeff Faviano and his flight sim videos. Catch you next time.